Alright, good morning. I'm doing a quick tutorial video just for um, 3D printing purposes. So, real quick introduction. My name's Cody Bear. Um, I'm a 3D printing enthusiast, um, and I wanted to do a few short videos on my process and how I go about designing and making things um, using 3D modeling software and 3D printing. Um, so I've been 3D printing for maybe 8 years now, and I've used several different softwares. The ones I'm most commonly familiar with are Key Print and Flash Print. I used to have a Prusa i3, but my current two printers are a Key Print X Smart and a Flash Forge Guider 2. I'll go into a little bit more detail in a future video probably about both of those printers and the reasons why I have those two. There's plenty of printers out there. I know Bamboo Labs makes really fantastic printers, and there's several others. But these are the two that I have. Okay, so with that out of the way, um, a lot of what I do is real time, and I try to make things that are physically useful and interface with other objects. Um, and so probably for one of my first videos, I'll be taking some measurements of a simple object, or of a somewhat complicated object, I guess, and showing you guys how I do that using basically a pair of calipers. So you'll see that I have this video on the right that I can use to kind of describe that process. Now, I think this thing's battery is dead. I don't have a replacement battery, but a lot of what I do is just take rough measurements, so I don't kind of need that precise measurement just now. So for this first video, with introductions out of the way, let's go about showing you guys how to install Autodesk Fusion, which is my primary 3D modeling software. Yeah, I'm very versed in Autodesk Fusion. I've been using it since before I started 3D printing, and yeah, like 2017, I think. And so yeah, I have a lot of projects. I can open it up and I can kind of show you guys my library just to kind of give you an idea of how much I use it. So yeah, this is my recent data. And then if we go back, I have several projects. Ends and odds is just like a list of all the random stuff that I've made. You know, I've got like, weird deck boxes that I've sliced up and rendered. Oh, it might have been a mistake to open this file. This is a big one. Yeah, so pulled models off, sliced them up, created cavities inside and things. So yeah, I've done quite a bit with Fusion. So to install Fusion, it's fairly straightforward. Actually, let's start by uninstalling Fusion so that you guys can see that. So we'll go to add or remove programs, Autodesk Fusion, uninstall. Accept, and then it'll show this, and then it's okay. I'll be right back. I know you're sorry, but I'm sorry too. I plan on installing and continuing to use it. Other demonstration. So yeah, they want you to just take this exit survey. Thanks for everything you do. So we can close that out and just let it run. And yeah, I just kind of want to show the whole process of installing it and getting it up and running. One thing is I think you'll have to make an account with Autodesk, but they don't charge you anything. I think you can just do like a free account. Trying to adjust the light levels a little bit here so that you can kind of see a little better. Okay, so now that it's installed, we'll open up Chrome or whatever browser you choose. I prefer Chrome just because I understand it. I also use Opera. I've been using Opera a little bit more these days, but I still prefer Chrome. Okay, so we'll just Google Autodesk Fusion. This one pops up. I try to stay away from ads because sometimes they take you to weird places. And now here's the main page for Fusion. So there's all kinds of great stuff. All we want to do is click download free trial. Now there's a free trial version that gives you full access, but we don't want the trial. We want Fusion for personal use. So free version, limited functionality for hobbyist users, limited CAD, CAM, KCA, and PCB, single user data management, forum support only, and then 10 active documents. This 10 active documents is kind of important, um, but we kind of have a workaround for that as well. So we'll download the limited free version. And then get Autodesk for personal use. Yeah, I have paid for a license in the past, but alas, I do not make that much money anymore. So, oh, I might need to sign in. Nope, I'm signed in. For personal use. Yeah, I don't make $1,000. What do you mean valid? Is that valid? Okay, there we go. I agree. Download now. And then download now. Okay, so now we open the client downloader. If you don't know how to get there, open up your File Explorer, go to Downloads, and it should be right at the top. Yep, now we can look at all the pretty pictures while it's doing its thing. I might crop out some of this loading stuff just because I'm going to be sitting here quietly. But we'll see. I might just upload the raw footage just because sometimes I find excuses to procrastinate. Okay, so now it's actually opening up already. So it's still setting up, but it's actually prompting me to sign in. So we'll go ahead and sign in. Yep, so I'm signed in. Open. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so it found me. Okay. And it's that easy. So now we have Fusion installed and we're back in. Um, Thanks for the walkthrough. That's just explaining. So yeah, it's all done setting up. So there. Now we've got Fusion installed. Um, so yeah, this is another project that I'm working on. This is like a ODST helmet. This was kind of a long and arduous process to get this one figured out as well. Just downloaded a model off the internet and sliced it up again and had to scale it properly and all kinds of stuff. So, all right, and then here's Autodesk Fusion again. And then it'll load back up. And yeah, here we are. So some pretty great things in Fusion. One thing that I love about Autodesk Fusion and SolidWorks is another one that I've used a lot is they're good for making mechanical things, right? Very functional, basic shape things, you know. So for instance, I can create a sketch. I can make a circle, and I can turn that circle into a cylinder using the extrude tool, right? And that was not hard to do. And I can modify this. I can make changes. You know, if we want to take the edges off, we can do that. You know, if we want to make them round, we can do that. You know, we can even take the edges off our edges if we really just aren't feeling edgy. And then, yeah, there's all kinds of modifications. Like I can press and pull, and I can take a face, and I can just, you know, so there's a lot of like functionality here, you know, just for doing very basic things. You know, the extrude tool I use a lot, the revolve tool I use a lot, the sweep tool I use quite a bit. These are a little bit more specialized. I have used the loft tool to a lot of success. And then, yeah, fillet and chamfer are really important, combining. So yeah, and they also have great inspection tools for you to take measurements and make sure your fits are good. They have ways to create new construction information, which is very useful. So yeah, there's a lot of compatibility between Fusion and 3D printing, which I appreciate very much. Okay, so now the 10 active model thing. The trick that I use for that is that you'll see that for each of these models, they're either read-only or editable. So basically, in spite of the fact that you can only have 10 active models, you can have what I consider a library of models. And what you do is you just check them in to a read-only state when you aren't using them. Right, so say we're done with this drain cover, we can just set that to read-only. And now that is no longer an active model. That's checked into our library. Yeah, I'll open that up so you can see it. Yeah, this was a cover that I used just for my dishwasher drain. It was kind of pouring water all over my sink, so I created this shell and added this little spout to it so that it would actually channel the water into the sink. So really basic. And for this one, I used the loft tool to create this spout, and then took all the edges off using the fillet tool. And this was just an extruded cylinder, so really basic. But yeah, alternatively, when we're done, or when we want to work on something that's read-only, we can make it an active model again simply by changing it to editable. So this was a Picatinny rail project that I worked on. so that I could mount optics to a paintball gun that I have. And you can see this one's a little bit more complicated. I think I used the rib tool and a couple other things. Actually, the drawing for the rail itself is very complicated. So this rectangle becomes the datum for this entire drawing. It's very interesting the way that Weaver rail and Picatinny rail is actually designed. But that's a discussion for another video. All right, so that's enough for now. Yeah, welcome to Fusion. Welcome to 3D printing. I hope this helps. I hope you get a lot of good mileage out of Fusion. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, but I really appreciate the product because it's extremely functional. It's extremely comfortable for me to use, and I've gotten a lot of good mileage out of it over almost a decade. So, yeah, thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Take care.